The A-29B Super Tucano is a Brazilian light attack aircraft designed to operate in tropical conditions and to have exceptional range, to be able to do surveillance on the Amazon basin that covers 60% of Brazil's surface. It is derived from the EMB 312 Tucano turboprop trainer, but it is longer by 1.3 meters and has a turboprop with almost twice the power, with 1,600 horsepower. The airframe structure is strengthened to allow load factors of up to 7G and 3.5 G. Its avionics system was developed by Elbit, from Israel, and consists of two mission and display processors, a head-up display, and two multifunction displays. Although cooled by fans and outflow from the pressurized cockpit, the avionics are designed to operate without cooling for several hours in tropical conditions. Either mission data processor can operate the entire avionics system, the other acting as a backup. Two batteries are installed and allow operations without an external power card. The aircraft can carry a wide variety of armament that we will examine in upcoming training missions. For now, this training mission will teach you how to cold start the aircraft, taxi and takeoff. If the cockpit interior is too dark, activate the flashlight with left Alt plus L. If the yellow cross cursor is not visible, press left Alt plus left Shift plus C to make it appear. Also, you can press spacebar to cut short long texts, in case you are repeating the mission. Parking brake. Check. Left click twice on the handle to release the brake. OK. Now right click on it twice to engage the parking brake. Good. Note that a green brake-on light will lit on the instruments panel, confirming that the parking brake is applied. Battery switch. Set to on, to connect both batteries to the battery electric bus. Generator switch. Confirm that it is in the on position. Backup generator switch. Confirm that it is in the auto position. External power switch. Confirm it is set to off, since we are not using ground power to start the aircraft. Emergency override switch. Check that its cover is closed. Aircraft interconnect switch. Check that its cover is closed. Interior lights panel. Instruments panel backlight knob. Set as desired. Console's backlight knob. Set as desired. Green floodlights knob. Adjust as white floodlight, storm, switch. Set as desired. Avionics panel. MDP, mission and display processor, numbers 1 and 2. Check that they are on. Avionics master switch. Confirm that it is set to on. Stores management system switch. Check that it is set to on. Environment control system panel. Air conditioner switch. Confirm it is off. Recirculating fan switch. Confirm it is set to off. Temperature adjustment knob. Turn it fully counterclockwise to its cold position to minimize electric consumption during engine start. Air conditioner mode. Switch to its manual position. Ice protection panel. Confirm all 4 ice protection switches are off. On the left console, at the far back, emergency speed brake switch. Set to normal. The A-29B is fitted with an automatic rudder trim system to compensate the propeller torque that yaws the aircraft to the left. The system becomes active at speeds over 50 knots, helping pilots to better control the aircraft during takeoff. Auto rudder. Check it's at the power position. Engine panel. The A-29B engine is a Pratt & Whitney Canada PT6A68-3, with its throttle connected to a power management unit, similar to a full authority digital engine control, which prevents the turboprop from exceeding temperature or torque limits. PMU switch. Confirm it is set to auto. Ignition switch. Check that it is set to its auto position. Exterior lights panel. Beacon switch. Set to on, to denote that we will start engine. Taxi light switch. Confirm that it is set to its auto position. Landing light switch. Check that it is set to off. Confirm that the landing gear lever is in its down position. Inertial separator switch. Check it's in its close position. The nacelle inlet of the A-29B. Includes an inertial separator to prevent heavy dust particles from entering the engine inlet. It reduces the power output of the engine, so it is not usually used on takeoffs. Late arm switch. Confirm that its cover is closed. MASS knob. This is the master armament safety switch, with positions for simulate, safe, and live. Check that it's at safe. Fuel panel. Main pumps knob. Set to auto. Multifunction displays. These knobs power the MFD to on or off. On the right MFD, check that the trim indicators are in neutral. Extend the flaps down, using the F key toggle, or the left shift plus F keys. With no external stores on the aircraft, you could leave the flaps on the up position. Check battery voltage, it should be over 28 volts. Now, close the canopy clicking on its handle or by pressing left Ctrl plus C. Set the throttle to idle, by moving it all the way back. Avionics master switch. Set to off prior to starting the engine. Engine start switch. Push forward, with a right click, and hold for 2 seconds. The NG percentage, on the right MFD, shows the current RPM of the engine. Its value will turn green at about 65%, once the engine reaches idle. Monitor the T5 turbine temperature. It should not exceed the limit of 1000 degrees Celsius. After about 40 seconds, the engine should reach an idle RPM of 66% NG, and T5 should be stabilized at 670 degrees Celsius. The red engine limits warning indicator will turn off when NG is over 68%. You may need to increase the throttle a bit. At this point the engine generators are providing electrical power. If external power was used during the start, then set the external power switch to off, not the case this time. Avionics master switch. Set to on, now that we have stable electric power. Heads-up display. Check and confirm that it is visible. Up front control panel. Activate its display with its top right knob. Environment Control System panel. ECS temperature knob. Set as desired. Air conditioning switch. Set to on. Temperature mode switch. Set to its auto position. On the ice protection panel. Pre-dash DAT switch. Set to on. The pitot warning on the MFD turns off. Secondary pitot switch. Set to on. The SPTO warning on the MFD turns off. You have completed the cold start procedure. The aircraft is now ready to taxi. Select backspace to end the mission at this point, or spacebar if you want to continue with the taxi procedure. Auto rudder. Switch to its engaged position to enable the automatic rudder trim system to compensate the propeller torque during takeoff. Emergency speed brake switch. Check it is at normal. We are now ready to taxi. Usually you would contact the ATC to request clearance to taxi, but the A-29B radio is not implemented yet, so we can't have any interaction with ATC. You will have to be extra careful, as there may be other air traffic around you. You will steer the aircraft using your rudder pedals. If your HOTAS setup does not include a rudder axis, you can also steer left or right using the Z and X keys. For this mission, we will taxi towards runway 22 via Street E. On the briefing there is a diagram of this airbase, where you can check which is Street E. Release the parking brake. Advance throttle to a little over 75%, and let the aircraft slowly move forward. Once the aircraft is moving, press the wheel brakes, with your HOTAS or the W key, to confirm their operation. Release the wheel brakes and resume the taxi. Be careful of other traffic that may be near you. Good. Now turn right and proceed along the taxiway E, towards the runway 22. This is taxiway E. Proceed forward, towards the runway 22. Stop just short of the runway, and then check that there is no air traffic about to land or take off. Unfortunately, the A-29B can't make use of the ATC on DCS. If there is no traffic, enter the runway, align on its center and stop there. Check that there are no warnings on the right MFD. Check that the flaps are down, as we are carrying underwing stores on this mission. Set a pitch trim of 0.2 nose up, to have an easier takeoff. This completes the takeoff checklist. We are now ready for takeoff. Follow the usual procedure. Hold wheel brakes. Increase throttle to 90% NG. Check instruments and alerts. If everything is well, release the brakes and accelerate to maximum RPM. Use nose wheel steering to maintain directional control and keep the aircraft on the runway's center line. At 105 knots, pull back on the control stick to raise the nose to a takeoff attitude, and allow the aircraft to fly itself off the ground. Liftoff. We are now on the air. Use trim to maintain a steady climb. Once on the air, retract the landing gear, with the G key, or by clicking the gear handle. Retract the flaps before reaching 150 knots, using the HOTAS, or the F key. You may now climb and accelerate to cruise speed. Your heading should be 215 degrees, climb speed 160 knots. Adjust pitch trim to attain a 5-degree nose-up angle on the HUD. Do this by placing the highlighted flight path marker over the 5-degree horizontal pitch line. Congratulations, you have successfully finished this training mission. Please press spacebar to exit the mission.